Bloodbound Omega Episode 3. You were chosen. The moment the doors locked, he stopped being free. Episode 3. You were chosen. The sound of the doors slamming shut didn't echo. It sealed final, heavy. Like the entire world had just narrowed down to one room and one man. Kale's breath caught in his throat, locked. Every exit, every path gone. A ripple of unease moved through the club, but no one rushed for the doors. No one questioned it, because they already knew. This wasn't panic. This was permission. The Alpha had decided something, and no one here was stupid enough to interfere. Kale slowly turned back. His wrist was still trapped in that firm, unyielding grip. Heat pulsed where their skin touched, sharp, intrusive, impossible to ignore. You locked them, Kale said, his voice lower now, controlled, but barely. Not a question. An accusation. The Alpha didn't answer immediately. He watched him, studied him, like Kale was something rare, something he'd been searching for without knowing it. Then, yes, the word landed without hesitation. Without apology. Kale's jaw tightened. You don't get to decide that. The pause. Then the Alpha stepped closer again, close enough that Kale had to tilt his head slightly just to hold eye contact. Everything in here, he said quietly, I decide. The room felt smaller, tighter. Like the air itself was bending around him. Kale forced himself to pull back. This time the Alpha let him move. But only just enough. Only to prove a point. Because the second Kale created space, the Alpha followed. Effortless, unhurried, inevitable. You keep trying to leave, the Alpha continued, voice calm, almost thoughtful. But your body doesn't agree with you. Kale froze. Because, damn it, he was right. His pulse was too fast. His breathing too uneven. And worse, that pull. That unnatural, dangerous pull, drawing him closer instead of pushing him away. I don't know what you're talking about, Kale snapped, a lie. A weak one. The Alpha's gaze darkened slightly. Then his hand moved. Not to restrain this time, but to tilt Kale's chin up. Forcing him to meet his eyes fully. No. He murmured. The contact was lighter than before. But somehow more dangerous. More deliberate. Then why, the Alpha continued, his voice dropping just enough to send a shiver down Kale's spine, did you walk straight to me the moment you stepped inside? Kale's breath hitched. Because he hadn't, had he? No. That wasn't his thoughts tangled, slipping, refusing to settle. The memory blurred at the edges. The noise, the lights, the crowd, and then him, only him. Like everything else had faded the second their eyes met. Like something had pulled him forward without asking. Without permission. I didn't, Kale said, but the certainty was gone now. The Alpha watched that doubt flicker across his face. And smiled, not wide, not kind. But certain. Say it again, he said softly. Kale didn't. Because suddenly he wasn't sure he could. Silence stretched between them, heavy, charged. Then the Alpha leaned in closer. This time there was no space left between them at all. Kale's back hit the edge of a nearby table, trapped. Not by force, but by presence. You feel it, the Alpha said. Not a question. A statement, truth. Kale's fingers curled slightly at his sides. His instincts were in chaos, run, stay, fight, submit. All of it crashing together until he couldn't tell which one was his anymore. What did you do to me? Kale asked, quieter now. Not anger, not fear. Something more dangerous. Uncertainty. The Alpha's expression shifted just slightly. For the first time, something sharper surfaced beneath the control. Interest. Real interest. I haven't done anything, he replied, a beat. Then, yet. Kale's stomach tightened. That word shouldn't have affected him like that. But it did. Because it wasn't a threat. It was a promise. And somehow that was worse. The alpha's thumb brushed lightly along Kale's jaw before dropping away completely, giving him space, just enough to make him aware of the loss of contact. You're not random, the alpha continued. You're not a mistake. His eyes held Kale's steady, unwavering. You're the answer to something I haven't been able to find. Kale shook his head slightly, trying to clear it. You don't even know me. No, the alpha agreed, calm, certain. But I will. A flicker of movement near the edges of the room caught Kale's attention. Men. Positioning themselves. Not aggressively, but strategically, watching, waiting. The realization hit him hard. This wasn't just a conversation. This was containment, planning, control. Kale's heart slammed against his ribs. You're not letting me leave, he said. This time it wasn't a challenge. It was understanding. The alpha didn't look away. Didn't hesitate. Didn't soften, no. The word landed like a lock clicking into place. Final, absolute. Kale exhaled slowly, and something inside him shifted. Not acceptance, not surrender, but awareness. If he couldn't leave, then he'd have to survive this another way. His gaze sharpened slightly. Fine. Then he'd play. Then what? Kale asked, voice steadier now. What happens next? For a moment, the alpha just looked at him. And then that same slow, dangerous smile returned. The part, he said quietly, where you stop pretending this is something you can escape, a step closer. Closer than before. And start realizing what you are to me. The lights dimmed suddenly, and a voice over the speakers cut through the room, private floor secured. The alpha's eyes never left Kale. Now, he said softly, we go somewhere quieter. Episode 4, What You Are to Me, Some Bonds Aren't Chosen, They're Recognized. Bloodbound Omega Episode 4, What You Are to Me, the private floor was silent. Not empty, not safe, silent. The kind of silence that pressed in from all sides, controlled, deliberate, owned. Kale stepped out of the elevator first. Or rather, he was allowed to. That realization sat heavy in his chest as he took in his surroundings. Dim lighting. Dark walls, clean, minimal. Every detail precise, expensive, intentional. No witnesses. No distractions. No exits he could see. Behind him, the elevator doors slid shut with a soft click, sealed again. Kale didn't turn around this time. Didn't react. Because he already knew. This wasn't about escape anymore. Not right now. A slow, measured set of footsteps followed him out. Unhurried, certain. The alpha. Kale could feel him before he even looked. That same presence, heavy, consuming, impossible to ignore. It filled the space like it belonged there. Like everything here answered to it, to him. Look at me. The command was quiet. Not sharp. Not raised. But it landed anyway. Kale hesitated. Just for a second. Then turned. Their eyes met. And something in the air shifted again. Closer now. More intense. More dangerous. You said I don't know you, the alpha continued, stepping forward, one step. Then another, slow. Controlled. And you're right. He stopped just within reach. But I know what you are. Kale's jaw tightened. And what's that? He asked, his voice steady but edged. The alpha studied him for a moment. Not casually. Not curiously. Carefully. Like he was confirming something he already believed. Then he lifted his hand. Not grabbing this time. Not forcing. Just hovering near Kale's collar, waiting, watching. Giving him the choice to pull away. Kale didn't move. Didn't step back. Didn't line in. But he didn't stop him either. The Alpha's fingers brushed lightly against the edge of his collar, then shifted it just enough to expose the side of his neck. Kale's breath hitched, instinct raw. "I'm my idiot." "Stop," he started, but the word lacked force. Because part of him didn't want him to. Didn't understand why. But felt it anyway. The Alpha's gaze dropped briefly, focused, sharp. And then there it was, faint. Barely visible, a mark. Not fresh, not claimed, but there. Something rare. Something hidden. Something that shouldn't exist without being noticed. The Alpha went still. For the first time since they met, he didn't move. Didn't speak. Didn't control the moment. He absorbed it. Confirmed it. Kale's pulse thundered under his skin. "What?" he demanded, quieter now. "What are you looking at?" The Alpha exhaled slowly, then lifted his gaze back to Kale's. Different now. Not softer, but deeper, certain in a way that left no room for doubt. "There it is," he said. Kale's stomach dropped. "What is?" The Alpha stepped closer again, closing the last inch of space between them. "You're not just an Omega," he said quietly. A pause. "Then you're a bonded one." The words hit like a crack through glass, sharp. Disorienting, wrong. "No," Kale said immediately, too fast. "Too defensive." "That's not, you don't know," the Alpha cut in, calm but absolute. Kale shook his head, trying to push past the sudden rush of confusion, of something that felt too close to truth. "I would know," he insisted. "Would you?" The question was quiet, but it landed harder than anything else. Kale opened his mouth, then stopped. Because would he? His memories flickered. Fragments, gaps. Things that never quite made sense. Feelings that never matched the explanations he was given. The Alpha watched it happen. Watched the doubt take hold. And didn't interrupt. Didn't rush it. Because he didn't need to. "You feel it," he said finally. "Even now." Kale swallowed hard. That pull again. Stronger here. Stronger this close. Like something inside him was responding, recognizing. "No," he whispered, but it lacked conviction. The Alpha's hand lifted again. Slower this time. More deliberate. He placed it lightly against Kale's chest. Right over his heartbeat. Kale froze. Didn't push him away, couldn't. "Your body knows," the Alpha said. In mine, a slight pause. Then his fingers pressed just slightly. "Recognized you the second you walked in." Kale's breath faltered. "That doesn't make sense." "It doesn't need to." The Alpha's gaze held his. "Unbreakable. Unyielding. Some things aren't built," he continued quietly. "They are found." Silence fell again, heavy, final. Kale felt it then. Not just the fear. Not just the tension. But the shift. This wasn't a coincidence. This wasn't bad luck. This was something else entirely. Something bigger. Something he didn't understand, but was already inside. "You said I was chosen," Kale said slowly. The Alpha didn't look away. "Yes." Kale's chest tightened. "By you." The pause, and for the first time the Alpha's answer changed everything. "No." That single word landed harder than any threat. Because it meant this wasn't his decision. This wasn't control. This was something even he answered to. The Alpha stepped closer, close enough that their foreheads almost touched. "Not by me," he said quietly, a breath, a beat. "Then by the bond." Kale's pulse spiked and suddenly, a sharp, burning sensation flared at his neck. He gasped, hand flying up instinctively. What is that?" The Alpha's eyes darkened, focused, certain. "It's starting."